everybody, and welcome back at Adobe Live. Today I'm here with you for a brand new Illustrator challenge, and in particular today we're going to be focusing on branding. So we're going to be learning how to enhance your brand and in particular create a very important phase of your branding, which are mood boards using Illustrator. So let's jump right away into Illustrator, but in the meantime, before I open Illustrator, I wanted to say hi to everybody that is joining me in chat. I can see Wade, Jake, Richard. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you guys hear me all right today. And I also want to remind everybody that you can follow along in Illustrator simply by clicking on the link below the description, and you can open up right away the file. So let me show you how that looks like. Let's jump into my computer. Hi, Robert. Thank you for being here with us. For those of you who don't know me, I'm your host, Kladi, and I'm here with your challenges to learn how to improve your skills and learn new techniques in Adobe Illustrator. We do that in under 30 minutes. Let me jump on the other side. Perfect. So you can right away get your file under the description. You will see it's called AI02 Kladi Challenge. And then we'll talk about later. You can also post your work online. All the links are down below. Nicola, Barbara, Michele or Michelle, Richard, thank you so much for being here. Fantastic. So let's jump into Illustrator to let me show you what how the file looks like. As I said, you can absolutely chill and relax, and actually let me know, where are you watching from? I am an Italian designer, but I'm currently based in Manchester, UK. I'm very excited to know where you watch from, and don't forget that if you're watching on YouTube, come over on behance.net/live. That is the place where I read the chat. Ciao, Richard. And I can say hi to you, but of course I can answer to your questions live. So we can use this time together to learn a lot of different things while using Illustrator. I'm so glad you made it. Barbara, thank you for joining. I think we're ready to go. So as you can see here in the file, we have a little bit of a preview of what the mood board is going to look like. And for those of you who do not know what a mood board is, I just decided to share this little slide from an event. I probably should like move a little bit like that so you can see it. An event that I was presenting in Washington, DC a couple weeks ago that was also about mood board, and it just gives you an idea when to create mood boards. So you want to create mood boards after you make a research about a specific project, either if it's a branding or maybe a campaign or maybe a website. A mood board will allow you to collect images, and then you will have a better direction for your project, because what is called look and feel will stand out and is much better. As we know, a picture speaks 1,000 words, so having a collection of images will be much better than having a summary or a description. So they will help you to manage expectation with your clients. So client can say that they want something very elegant, but what that actually looks like. And then you can work together in a team or even on your own, facilitating your process moving forward into concept development. So this is a very important stage, in particular in branding, like in this case. And I'm just going to go ahead and talk about and show you the actual brand that we're going to be working on today. This brand is a plant shop called Plantorium, and let me show you the logo real quick. So if you look at the brand manual here, I want to take you a little bit of step back. How did we get there? We can see that we have a botanical dream. This is actually the booklet that they have. Botanical dream, magical experience, vibrant, urban. Those were all the keywords. And then we have few images that made it to the main branding booklet. They were actually part of the Illustrator mood board that we did at the very beginning. So let's get started in actually Illustrator and see how we get this done. How do we get to this nice and neat collection of inspirational image that will allow you to stay focused on your design and stay focused in creating a very coherent guidelines for your concept design. Fantastic. So as you can see here, I've placed two different boxes. One says images, and one here we're going to use for the actual mood board. So those are two different artboards. Also, it's very important whenever I give you any files, go and have a look at those layers, because layers are so important for you to manage your file correctly. They work as container that which you can place images, graphics, any asset, and you can keep them organized by moving them back and forward, because anything that is on top will display above. But let's put them into use. So the first thing that we need to do is to collect some images. When we talk about collecting assets, the best way to share, organize, collect, and keep your images safe, your assets safe, is of course to use the Creative Cloud libraries. Hands up in the chat if you've used creative libraries before. I absolutely love them. I have way too many libraries. Let me see if as you can see, it takes a second for them to load here on the screen. If you do not see the libraries panel, here it is, it's called libraries. You can find it under Window and then select Libraries, and you will see that the Libraries panel will pop up in your workspace. Then, if you do not have all this crazy amount of libraries like I do here, you can see that we have many libraries. Kladi loves libraries. Well, every project that I work on has a library because that's, so important to organize, keep together in the same space, and also you can, share all these wonderful assets for your project, especially for a brand new project. You really want to have this library. We can see Wade, Stony, with a hands up in the chat. Yeah, put your hands up if you have used libraries before. I really hope that Google doesn't come out with a put your hands up song, because sometimes Google does this kind of things. But Colleen, Richard, everybody loving libraries. For me, it's double hands up. Right, so the first thing that you want to do if you never used a library before, don't worry, I'm here to show you. So you want to click on the little plus icon where it says create a new library. Then you can name it. In this case, I'm going to call it Plantorium Moodboard. And then I'm going to click on create. Moodboard, and then I'm going to click on create in order to create a new library. As you can see, it said that the asset, you can add them, and you can add also style, and all you have to do is to literally drag and drop. In fact, I'm going to go and head into my little folder that I have here with my images. And then I'm just going to select a bunch of images. You can select as many as you want. I'm just going to try and select them all over here. And then all I'm doing is dragging and dropping them right into my library. So they just went from my file folder into the actual libraries. And as you can see, they're loading. And once I have them in the library, which is taking space inside the Creative Cloud, you can delete them from your computer. So all these images will not take space in your computer anymore, which is, such a good thing to save space into your hard drive, because they're going to be there, they're going to be safely stored and organized as well, which I find it really, really amazing. But what if you're looking for the right image and you haven't found the right image yet? Well, the libraries come to help also with finding and browsing new images. Emma, don't worry, we're just getting started. We opened the library, we dropped some images in there. We're about to create some fun mood boards, so you're just at the right time. And what we're going to be doing here is to also learn how to browse images and select the right image that you would like to use without leaving Illustrator. So let's go ahead and click on the drop down little arrow here where it says search libraries, because we do not want to search the libraries. We want to search the queen and king of libraries, which is Adobe Stock. Adobe Stock is a stock library from Adobe that allows you to search many different professional assets without leaving Illustrator. This service is integrated inside the app. So here we can put, maybe let's use some of the keyword. I think they had a botanical dream, and this might be, I haven't searched it before, I'm literally going with you. So see, botanical dream, we have this dreamy feeling, and of course some plants, so much more inspiration. And looks like here we do have illustration. What if I just want photos, for example? Well, you can use the filter icon in order to filter the kind of assets you want. Yes, it's super cool. You can get photos, illustration, but you can also get vector files. That's super amazing. But in this case, if you just want to select photos, click on photos, and you will see that Adobe Stock integrated inside the CC libraries will automatically filter the assets for you. And we're going to come back here with these dreamy feeling. Perfect. That's exactly the mood that we're going for our mood board. And all you have to do once you find the perfect image is to click on the plus icon, and it will be automatically added into the library of your choice. Now, if you do not have to use these images like in the final design, it's still okay to use them as they are. So you can just simply click and drag and drop it inside your artboard, and they will be there ready for you to use. Although they have the Adobe stock watermark and the number of the stock. Of course, if you're using that just as an inspiration, that's fine. If you end up, like most of the time when you search images, that's the entire point, to find a direction. Some of them are so spot on. That might be the final result that you want to use into your project. Well, when you do that, at that point, all you want to do is to just simply click on the little cart in order to license it. But for now, you can get away with using the image for your mood board just by placing it inside your file, just like that, without licensing it for now. Then all you're left to do is to click and drag as many images as you want. And let me tell you a couple things about placing images inside your artboard. You can click and drag and then click once. And if you just click once to drop and place the image, you will see that the image gets displayed in its full size, which is quite huge for these particular assets. But then if you want to contain it and make sure that you have control on the size of the image, once you click and drag it over, you see that it doesn't go anywhere. There is actually a floating thumbnail that is previewed next to your selection. So all you have to do is to click and drag in order to then contain and size the image into whatever size you want, just simply by clicking and dragging. And you can do that as many times as you want. So I'm going to go ahead here and just use a few other images for our mood board. Again, click and drag to find the perfect image, and you can do that over and over again until you find the right image. So what happens if the image is tiny like that and I want to make it bigger? Simply select on it and click and drag while holding the shift key in order to resize it proportionally, because otherwise the image will be all distorted. I'm just gonna add maybe one more, and then I'm just gonna keep going and showing you how to create a proper mood board. Because I mean, that is already a mood board. The one behind me, technically a collection of images that displays a visual or transfers or translates a specific mood or any sort of keywords or core elements for your project. That is already a mood board. But we're here to learn how to do things professionally. So let me show you how you can take this random collage into a nice, neat, beautiful images where we have some maybe rounded corners, because here at the moment we have images that are placed in the little placeholder box, and yeah, we can maybe, you know, change it, but there is not much that we can do into actually styling that frame of these little images. So especially, you know, if you want to crop it, so for example, here this flower, I really want to isolate the flower, but I want to get rid of all the white leaves that are in there, and maybe I want to put that into a square. So actually let's start with placing this flower inside our little board here, just to see a difference. And by the way, perhaps we want to hold the Alt or Option key, depending if you're working on a Mac or Windows, in order to create a copy while you click and drag. Then the last thing to do is to select the rectangle tool, and here we can click and drag over the image in order to create a little shape that you will see will be over the image covering it. Now press the letter V to go back into the selection tool and click and drag on both images. So we have the rectangle and then the photo underneath, so they're both selected. Now remember, the shape needs to be on top and the image needs to be below. By the way, you don't need to use the image. You can also do that with vector shape. Hopefully I'll have a minute to show you that as well. But if you're using more than one image, or if you're using shapes, you need to have them grouped. So remember, always group the elements if it's more than one before going ahead and create a mask, because that's exactly what we're going to be creating here. So let's click and drag to select them both, and you have two options. One, use the shortcut, magic shortcut, Command-7 to create a clipping mask, or when you press Command-Z to undo, you can always head to Object and then Clipping Mask and then Make. As you can see, Command-7 on a Mac, Control-7 on a Windows is the right shortcut to create a mask. You can just simply do that in order to mask your image, crop it out, and just shows the part that you intend to reveal. Another thing that you can do here is to then move the image, because you can see like it looks like we have a little bit of the frame that is empty. So maybe we can make the image bigger to fill that space. So I'm going to double click inside my image here in order to enter the isolation mode. You know that you have entered your isolation mode when a bar will appear on the top, where we have this little arrow that let us know that we are inside an element, in this case inside the mask. And from here you can move your photo inside the mask to hide and display any area you want, but you can also resize it. So even if you have masked an element, you can at any time go back and change its the way that it looks, its size and its position, simply by entering isolation mode. Then you can simply click away and click on the top arrow or double click on the canvas, or really anywhere into Illustrator, in order to exit the isolation mode, and you will see that the little bar on the top disappeared. Perfect. So that was just an example on how to mask images. So now what if I want to use something like, this little lovely distribution so it looks nice and professional? What I'm going to do here is to click on the rectangle tool and then click and drag to create my first shape. And I'm going to hold the shift key to make sure that I use a square, that I create a square. And then I'm going to click and drag on the corner of the widget corner there to create some rounded corners. And I'm going to select the shape and just give it a color fill so it stands out. Otherwise on the white canvas we cannot see it. And then I'm going to go ahead and press the Option key in order to create a copy. And I'm also holding the Shift key to make sure that it is aligned. So I'm copying it, but also aligned. Then all I have to do is to use that Command D on a Windows, that will be Control D on a Mac, in order to duplicate the last action. And then I can select them all and use the Option key again while holding Shift to drop them there. So now we have basically created a copy of our frames. And all I'm left to do is to bring the images at the back and just resize it before or after, whenever you prefer. And with the shortcut, we can just go ahead and bring our images behind this beautiful layout that we've created in just a few minutes. Let me just make sure that that's right behind. And as I've done before, you can, maybe for this one we can create a rectangular. Let me show that. Let me show you to do that. So what happens if we have a photo like that we want to display into a rectangular shape, not a square? I wasn't planning to do this, but that's actually really cool. We can actually simply make this shape longer. So now we have this rectangle and this square, and you can either just match the shape just simply by, changing the shape of it. But if in your case is not square, maybe using a star or something that is a little bit more complex, all you have to do is to hold Shift, make sure that the shape are in the same group, head to the Properties panel and use the Unite option under the Pathfinder tool to unite the two shapes that you built. So now they act like a single shape because they're united, and you can use them as a single mask. And I'm just going to go ahead real quick and make sure that I mask these other images because we have few minutes left. I can't believe the stream goes always way too fast. Hopefully you guys are having fun and learning how to create some nice and professional images here. Maybe we can do the same. Let's see if we have time to do so. Maybe yes, we can create another rectangle here for our little flower. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and use the top shape so I don't have to unite it, and then I can simply delete the one that I don't need. And I'm just going to go ahead and add this other image. Oops, what happened? It looked like it did a move. Here it is. Let's move it behind and make it bigger, and then select the image and the shape, making sure that we don't select the other mask, and press Command 7. Perfect. So here we have our mood board looking nice and neat and organized. And it looks like that we do have a few minutes to show you something very important that you can do. So look how much nicer and neater this collection of images that will make you so much more comfortable when you're going to a meeting to look more organized. Now, what I want to show you is that you can also pick some colors out of your images by selecting any shape. In this case, I'm going to select a circle, and then by using the eyedropper tool, you can pick any color that is from your images, and that will also help to create more assets for your brand. So maybe you can create this mood board to lift some color that you can use for your brand. So I'm just going to go ahead here and select a few circles here and just pick the color that are recurring between our images. I think that what we're missing here is perhaps a green, and you can select as many colors as you want. But once you select the color, you can do two things. One, you can first of all select the shapes, and here to add them to the same selection, all you have to do is to click on them, then hold the shift key and click on the other one. So as you can see now, they're all part of the same group. And then we can add under the window menu and select swatches. And from the swatches panel, we can now click on the little card icon, is a little folder icon, I don't know why I say card, and select new color group. By doing so, you will be able to lift color from the selected artwork. So we actually selected the images from the colors from the actual color palette. And I'm gonna call this one Plantorium, and then click on OK, and you will see that that is now available into your swatches. So if I have a text or if I have a specific shape, I can quick and easy use this color. But what if I want to send these to my colleagues? It looks like I'm launching bridge. What if you want to share this with your colleagues all together with the images that we were collecting before into a library? Well, that's super easy, because simply once you add your swatches into your library, into your swatches panel, if we click on the little in the little folder that is called Plantorium for our project, and then we select the add selected color group to library, in one click, the colors will be transferred into your project assets. So whenever you're going to go ahead and share these images and the color, anybody then opens this CC library in After Effects or in Photoshop or in any other app, in InDesign, they will be able to use the color directly from the apps. Now, what happens is one of your colleagues or client tells you, you know what? I just love this photo. This photo is just so gorgeous. Forget the other one. I want to make sure that the colors that we're using are just the color of the image there. Well, all you have to do is to select your artwork, in this case, our circles, and then we can go ahead and select to our edit menu, add into edit colors and recolor artwork, and we will be able to use the color theme picker, which is pretty amazing, to simply click and then click inside the image, and check this out. In one click, automatically Illustrator will pick up the predominant color from your actual image. And then you can also distribute the prominent color, so you can pick whatever color is going to be more prominent. And also you can decide the luminance of your color, so how bright you want this color to be. And in just 1 second, we pretty much already changed those colors. So all you have to do is to click away, and already we have our color palette saved, and we can go back and do the same thing and add them to our swatches panel and then bring into our library. So now whenever we're going to be working on this brand, we have access to both color palettes, and you can transfer that into all the different project that you are using. So hopefully this was helpful. You can go ahead and share your mood board. I look forward to see what topic you choose. It can be about any sort of brand that you're working on, maybe your own brand. I just look forward to see how you create your professional mood board so they look nice and neat. And it looks like my Illustrator is having a little bit of a hiccup there. I don't know what's going on. It actually looks like a quite cool shape. But anyway, so don't forget, of course, to share your work on Discord. You can find the link just right there. But I think that I also had a little, here we go, a banner just behind me. So it's bit.ly/AI Discord. That is the place where we share the artwork. You can see the other illustration challenge that has been going on as well, and we have our 3D character that are populating the Discord, which are very, very cute. So hopefully I look forward to see your mood board in the same place. This is a fantastic community, a place for you to get feedback, get inspiration, and of course connect with a wonderful mentor and all the lovely moderator, but of course you guys that make the wonderful community here at Adobe Live. So don't forget to share your work. I look forward to see you for another challenge coming up. Don't forget to stay tuned because on Adobe Live there is always amazing fun stuff going on. So stay tuned on behance.net/live for the lives and of course the wonderful replays. Unfortunately, I already have to say goodbye for today. So I hope you guys had a lovely day. It was my pleasure to hang out here with you and I will see you very soon. Bye everybody.